she moves to her own beat of a queen, so supreme. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen, so supreme, yeah. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, no, the way she moves to her own beat. She has the qualities of a queen. I just can't live without you. No, nowhere. Ooh. Now many men will try to tell you bad things about me. Oh baby, let them try. I know one day their lust will die, and there will be no cause or reason for you to doubt me. Cause what I feel is real. The love that I have is yours, signed and sealed. Now I'm building my whole wide world around you. But baby, here's my request from you. Baby, don't take my kindness for weakness. Please don't take my sweetness for weakness. No, baby, don't take my kindness for weakness. No, no, baby. Cause our future depends on you, and no one else will do. Ooh. And every breath I take, I'll take another one for you. Because I want you in my life now, baby. And every song I sing, I'll be singing with feelings about you, with feelings of love so pure and true. There is no way I can live my life without you, baby. But this I desire from you. Baby, don't take my kindness for weakness. No, no, don't take my sweetness for weakness. Please don't take my kindness for weakness. No, no, baby. Cause everything depends on you, and no one else will do. No, 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 baby. I'll do almost anything you ask me to. Always willing to set aside the tribulations you put me through. And people will criticize that you and me, they don't think that is wise. And everything that I do, they are willing and able to publicize. I got all bets on you, and waiting to finally receive my prize. No matter how men rule, our future is growing inside of you. Baby, time is the man.
It's all about you. LA's fine sunshine most of the time, and the feeling is laid back. Palm Tree Road, rent so low, don't you know? But I keep working my way back. But I'm a Jamaican boy, you born and raised. Nowadays I'm lost between two shores. LA's fine, but it ain't home. New York is home, but it ain't mine no more. I am myself to no one there. you to read about a frog who dreamed of being a king. And they all became one. Except for the name, a few other changes. You talk about name. The story is the same one. But I've got this emptiness deep inside, and it won't let me go. And I'm a man who don't like to swear, but I hate the sound of being alone. I am myself to no one there, and no one heard at all. Now,
yeah. Oh yeah. Caribbean vibes.
You are listening into Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, KVRN, is an independently owned and operated online radio station, proudly broadcasting 24 hours per day, 365 days a year from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, USA. The views and opinions expressed by host, guests, and contributors on KVRN are strictly for informational and entertainment purposes only and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of our affiliated stations, including Fit FM 96.7, Linkage Radio, and NRP Media JA. We provide content that covers a wide range of topics, including, but not limited to, politics, current affairs, and relationship issues under our guiding mantra, covering the globe like no one else can. KVRN also streams content on YouTube under the name KVR Network. For questions, comments, or further information, please feel free to contact us at email at CaribbeanVibesRadio@gmail.com. That is Caribbean with a K. That is KARIBBEANVIBEZ radio@gmail.com, or mail at P.O. Box 42, Centerville, Massachusetts 02632 USA. Thank you for tuning in and supporting Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, your global connection for vibrant, thought-provoking content.
I just positive
I am said then I am lost and I can't.
Well. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How are you? How is everybody doing this evening? Welcome to the program. It is the first one for 2026. Welcome. It's the Hot Topics. My name is Chris Wilby. There are lots and lots to talk about. I want to say welcome to everybody. Those of you tuning in on CaribbeanVibesRadio.com, TuneIn Radio, Fit FM 96.7, Linkage Radio. Good evening. Facebook, YouTube. Did I say tune in? Yeah. We have lots to talk about. We have a whole lot to talk about. First and foremost, I must say Happy New Year to everyone. It's good to have made it over from 2025 into 2026, many people did not make it. And so, for those of us who have made it, we have to give God thanks. Huh? I almost boycotted the show this evening because up until the very last moment, I was still wondering, contemplating, should I or shouldn't I? And the reason is I have been battling with I've been struggling with something for the past few weeks, and it has left my throat damaged. And so I've been working on it with all kinds of remedies and doing all kinds of things, and it has gotten better to some extent, but not 100% there yet. So bear with me. I know those of you who know me, you know my voice, and you know this isn't my voice. You know? So, but I'm here. And the show must go on. And there's one thing that I have learned in this life is that you have to show up. Because if you don't show up, somebody else is going to show up in your space. And if you should drop dead today, if I should drop dead today, people are going to sing their Sankey. Somebody said turn the roll and find their way back home. That the show must go on, right? So there's no time to linger. No time to have a pity party. We have to just do what we have to do, however we have to do it. No, Joe. Yes, man. That's how it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody who is tuning in, I want to say welcome. Those of you on the YouTube channel, I'm going to ask you to do me the honors, as usual, to share it with your friends and get some more people in there. If you notice the topic still says, still talking about the hurricane and the rebuilding of the hurricane, rebuilding of Jamaica and the hurricane and all of that. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about what the topic says. It's a new year and Jamaica is still rebuilding. But there are many different aspects of the rebuilding phase that we can talk about and discuss. Now, one of the main things that I want to talk about tonight, and I probably won't be talking all night. I'm probably gonna do some music in between, just to give my voice a little bit of a rest. But one of the things that we have to talk about is the the reduction of crime in Jamaica. So I had prepared a statement ahead of time that I wanted to read to you, because we have to acknowledge and recognize that Jamaica has made a significant breakthrough. And irrespective of where you sit, stand, or lean up, or catch up, you should be happy with the news that Jamaica recorded less than 700 murders for the first time in decades. I have been one who have criticized successive governments, the Jamaican people, the security forces, as to why it is that we are taking the lives of more than 1,000 of our fellow citizens every year. It has been a very troubling, to say the least, pattern. But as we reflect on the year that just passed, there is an important development in our national story that deserves the recognition. It is also a very sober reflection, ladies and gentlemen, because Jamaica ended the year 2025 with approximately 683 recorded murders, a figure that represents one of the lowest homicide totals our island has seen in decades. Now, this is indeed a historic decline. It is a marked improvement from recent years when murder counts were stubbornly high, with over 1,141 murders in 2024 and around 1,393 in 2023. In fact, 2025 numbers are the lowest since the mid-1990s. And who can remember the 1990s? A lot of people who voted in the last election weren't born then. So this highlights the progress in our long struggle with violent crime in Jamaica. Now, make no mistake, this is indeed significant. It is significant. It shows that concerted efforts across law enforcement, policy leadership, and community cooperation are yielding real results. Now, to the men and women of Jamaica,
the Jamaica Constabulary Force, I should say, the Jamaica Defense Force, and all our security partners. You must be congratulated. I want to personally say congratulations for your resilience, your discipline, and dedication under pressure, day in and day out. I also want to extend my deepest respect to the Commissioner of Police and the leadership of the JCF. Commissioner of Police is doing a fantastic job, and the ones before him, Dr. Kevin Blake, the ones before him who started the process. To Dr. Horace Chang, Minister of National Security and Peace. And to the government agencies that have worked to strengthen Jamaica's crime-fighting capabilities. The continued strategic focus, investments in technology, operations against illegal firearms and organized crime, and community engagement have helped us move the needle forward. Well, let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen. Even though murders have been reduced, 683 lives lost in any year is still far too many. Now, every single one of those individuals was someone's son, someone's daughter, sibling, or parent. And each had a future that was cut short. So while the downward trend is cause for cautious optimism, we cannot and should not celebrate the loss of lives. Our focus must remain on reducing these numbers further year after year. And when I say our focus, we are all in this thing together. Even us in the diaspora. To you, the citizens of Jamaica, I want to say thank you. Yes, thank you for your cooperation with law enforcement, your willingness to share information, and to look out for your neighbors. We can't emphasize that enough. But I will come back to that. And the need for you to demand safer communities because it matters. Public safety is a shared responsibility, and your role in that partnership is essential, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as we look back to where we have come from, with murder counts in the thousands just a few years ago, we have to acknowledge that the progress is real. But as we look to 2026, as we look ahead to 2026 and beyond, let us all commit to building safer homes, thriving towns, and opportunities for our youth. so that this downward trend will continue. Let us keep engaging. Let us keep supporting context-driven community initiatives. And let's keep demanding accountability at every level. Excuse me. And to our listeners across the island, across Jamaica, and beyond, from Kingston to Montego Bay, St. Thomas in the east, Westmoreland in the west, from Jamaica to our brothers and sisters across the Caribbean, across the diaspora, and in Africa, and everywhere else in the world. Let me remind you that peace is possible, but it will take all of us working together. I am happy to see where we are, and I celebrate the progress. And I'm going to get back to where I spoke about community now working with the police. Because, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about it, that in and of itself is a significant feat. Not so long ago, Jamaica was notorious for the informer for dead mentality. And nobody would share any information with police. And there are many reasons why that would have happened. One is that people did not trust the police. People did not trust the police because there were times when people would have given information to the police, and the same police would have taken that information, and the gunman down the street would get back the name of the person who reported them. This was the reality that many Jamaicans lived in. The police force was very unprofessional. And so even those of us who love, support, respect the security forces would not dare to offer any form of information to the police that would lead to any form of arrest. And apart from that, the culture of Jamaica was that we're no informer. And so it was a deadly combination. People were fearful of their lives, of losing their lives. And then the culture, attached to it. But over the years, what we have seen, especially the past 10 years or so, excuse me again, would have seen the gradual changing of the security forces, the police force, the army, the professionalism that they are now bringing to the fore, how they are carrying themselves and how they are carrying out their investigations. And people are now beginning to trust the police. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is very fragile. The gains that we have made is very fragile. And we can lose that gain. So it is incumbent upon the police force and the leaders, the politicians, and the technocrats who are practitioners over security in Jamaica. It's incumbent on these people to continue to provide the professional leadership that is necessary and so well needed to continue. Because by God, we need to have murders continue to dip below not just 700, but 500 and 300 until one day, maybe just one day, in our lifetime, we might be able to live in a Jamaica where the dream of the Prime Minister is fulfilled. The Prime Minister has a dream and a vision of people sleeping with their windows and doors open. Sometimes we have to dream. Have to dream big. I remember when Andrew Holness said that, he was criticized. He was laughed at. Many people said it is a pipe dream. But if you notice, over the last 3 years, the murders have been reducing. And this year, last year, significantly so. So what does that say about the vision of leaders? What does it tell you about the vision of leaders? You have to dream. Not only dream, you have to have a plan. And then you put your plan into focus. You work on developing your plan into action. And so the security forces is now more equipped with lots of technology, more professionals running the organization, and the leadership at the government level. Dr. Horace Chang. Now, let us think about it, ladies and gentlemen. If we can recall, back in the day, the Ministry of National Security was where you go to have your career ended. It was a career killer. In Jamaica, being the National Security Minister was seen as ending your career. Dr. Horace Chang is the first leader we've seen in a long time to have taken that portfolio and come out on the positive side. So we have to give kudos where kudos is due. The police force of today is a well-rounded, and they may have some work to do, But I see the debate online and in Jamaica on a whole about people, whether or not because now we have the security forces taking out more people, almost 300 at the end of 2025, comparing to just over 100 and some odd the previous year. But let us ask a question. Is there a correlation to the security forces getting rid of the bad men, so to speak, and the drop in crime, significant drop in crime or killings? Is there a correlation? Is there? Because police take out more people and we have less murders. So I am not concerned about the police taking out people, because we have Indicom, which is there to investigate and prosecute misconduct of police if they need to do so. So I trust the police force. I trust Indicom. And if there is a rogue cop that need to be reined in and sent to prison if possible, I trust the system. I trust that that will happen. But what I'm not going to do is to second guess the police force right now. This police force. I am not going to second guess this police force. I am not going to second guess this police force. After all the work that they have put in, and after all that I have seen and observed, I'm going to trust them. I am not saying that there aren't questions and that people shouldn't ask questions, because we should, as a society we should. But what we're not supposed to do, and what I am not going to do, is to criticize the police and cast assertions before we get the facts. I'm not going to do that. I'm not prepared to do that. I am not prepared to start willy-nilly just throwing out phrases like extrajudicial killings and all of that nonsense that I hear a lot of civil society. Because let me tell you something, civil society in Jamaica is not so civil, Civil society in Jamaica is very suspect, because a lot of people who claim to be a part of civil society are there with an axe to grind. And unfortunately, which is very sad, very, very sad, very, very unfortunate, not everybody is happy to see the back of crime being broken. A lot of people are not happy for political reasons. In all my years, I've seen many elections. And the last election, in a very long time, was the only one where crime, think about it, ladies and gentlemen, where crime was not debated on the stage. Think about, I want you to think about that. Crime was not debated because crime was under control. It was not an issue. It was not an issue in the last election. Can you believe that? I never know that I would have seen the day when we had an election and people weren't quarreling about crime too high and no, it was never an issue. So much so that the government was able to run not away from like they normally do, but they were able to take it on front and center and run on the issue that they have made significant progress in controlling crime in the country. That has never been done for the past 30 years. Never been done. Don't know if it has ever been done in my lifetime. So, I also want to point out to you, ladies and gentlemen, that I want to remind you that crime is a business in Jamaica, you know. And when I tell you that not a lot of people really want to see the back of crime broken, you might say, what Chris will be at about? Let me explain. I'm glad you asked that question. Let me explain. You see, the lawyers, criminal defense attorneys, I want to take you someplace where a lot of you probably wouldn't think of going. But I want you to open your eyes. The criminal defense, the attorneys who defend criminals in Jamaica, if this trend continues, a lot of them are going to have to change their profession. Wanna hear what I say? I said, if this trend continues, a lot of criminal defense attorneys will, it's not a matter of me, they will have to change their careers. It's a lucrative business in Jamaica. And there's more to it than just that. But I'm just giving you one aspect of it. So a lot of these people, you think they want them food for stop? You think all of these lawyers, it's big money, you know. It's big money them charge for defend these criminals, you know. You believe that they want these criminals to be reformed and not be a criminal anymore? So who are they going to get to defend? Yeah? So, I want you to think about all of that and more. Now, if you want to be a part of the conversation, if you want to call me, you have to call me on WhatsApp. Let me put that out there. 508-762-7621. Call me on WhatsApp and we can talk about that and anything else that you have on your mind. But that is where I am, where I'm going this evening with the hot topics. We are also, if you can chime in, if you want to, on the policy, the foreign policy of the Trump administration. Recently, the President of the United States sent troops into Venezuela to kidnap the President of Venezuela. And the rationale that was given, once again, 508-762-7621, 508-762-7621. Call me on WhatsApp, 508-762-7621. The rationale that was given building up and going into the capture was that, hey, this man is a bad man. He's supplying and sending drugs to the United States, and they blew up a few boats in the Caribbean because they said that it was all about the drugs. But now that he is being captured, we're not hearing anything about drugs anymore. Now we're hearing about the oil and national security. But it's mainly about the oil that we're hearing about. There is also another thing in the news where ICE, somebody called them the personal police force of the President of the United States. They call them, they're going around and they are doing some things. And a woman was shot recently in Minneapolis, yesterday. A woman was shot in the face. She was killed. Now, if you're on Team Trump, this is good news for you, because this is what motivates a lot of the people on the right. But if you are not on that side, you're going to look at it and you're going to say this could have been avoided. So it depends on where you stand. It depends on where you come down on the issue. So people are up in arms about it, and there is protest, and we're living in a very dangerous world now, We're living in a very, very dangerous world. It's not the world of a few years ago, because this president is taking us into some uncharted territories, and people, leaders across the globe, they are afraid to speak up. Nobody want to challenge this president. Because make no mistake about it, America is still the most powerful country in the world. We're the most deadly military. So nobody's going to challenge America. Nobody. And with the President of the United States willing to do some stuff that no other president would even think of doing, people around the globe are keeping quiet. And I remember leading up to the election in Jamaica, there were a lot of chest thumping and people talking all kinds of things. I remember some people came out and talking about how Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Oh no, I spoke about it right here on this program. I spoke about it. Do you remember? You guys remember? I spoke about it. Dr. Andrew Holness was a coward because he's not doing this. You guys remember when they had the UN meeting and when some people walked out to protest against Israel and Israel's stance in the world or whatever, with the whole Gaza issue, and Jamaica, the delegation of Jamaica, remained seated and they weren't ruffling any feathers. And people were talking about how Jamaica is coward. And we have a leadership that is coward. And the Prime Minister is a coward. And people were talking about Venezuela. And the Prime Minister should come out and speak where he stands. And we should stand with Venezuela. I don't remember. And I came out and I said, listen to me, man. I do not want my Prime Minister to drag Jamaica into any unnecessary squabble. Jamaica back no broad. We is just a little country in the Caribbean. Why we are go? You see, leadership requires level-headedness. It requires people not to be just loudmouth. It requires people to speak when it's necessary and be silent when it's necessary. And that is why I respect Andrew Holness, because he's not a person who is going to just shoot from the hip. Nope. Thoughtful. He's thinking that, hey, I have a country to run. I can't just go out there and just run off my mouth, especially with certain people around certain places. I have to be circumspect. Yeah. And see it there now? You know what? A lot of people not talking now. Not saying a word. Not saying a word. Because now them realize that, hey, Mr. Trump ain't joking. This is not a game. So the young lady that was killed by ICE, her name is Renee Nicole Good. And they have opened up a GoFundMe for her. And over the past 24 hours, that GoFundMe has gone in the excess of $550,000 in donations so far. The fundraiser was organized to support Good's loved ones as they grapple with the devastating loss of their wife and mother. She's described as pure sunshine, pure love in the description, which originally had a goal of $50,000. So, yeah. Good was shot when ICE agents approached her SUV in traffic on a residential street in Minneapolis and apparently directed her to exit the vehicle. Good backed up her Honda Pilot and moved forward, and an agent fired several shots into the car at point-blank range. Trump administration officials claim the officer shot in self-defense. That account is disputed by Minnesota officials and others who have waved multiple videos of the who have viewed multiple incidents of the multiple videos of the incident. What is happening to me this evening? Am I dyslexic? So, yeah, if you want to be a part of the conversation, you can call me 508-762-7621 or send me a message on WhatsApp 508-762-7621. That's again 508-762-7621, or send me a message on WhatsApp. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, we have to we're looking into the main topic is the murder situation. So what is your take on how the Jamaica Constabulary Force is dealing with murders, and do you believe that police, because what some people are saying, which I don't know, I kind of find it ridiculous, but that's just me. I'm just a little boy from St. Thomas, Jamaica. I don't know nothing. So people are saying that they should add the 300 murders, because that's what some people are calling it, that the police, it's 300 lives, throw it in there, and we would reach 1,000 murders. So we should throw the 300 quote-unquote murders that the police, the 300 lives, because a lot of people believe that the police are going out there intentionally taking the lives of innocent Jamaicans. For one, I don't believe that the police is leaving their houses every morning, putting on their clothes, going to work, and thinking about which innocent Jamaican I can go and take out. I don't believe that. I think that's rubbish. I'm not saying that they have gotten it all right. I'm not saying that there are questions in some of them, but to just throw it out there and make it sound as if police, I mean, we used to have police in Jamaica who, back in the day, we know that. We know that Jamaican police, they used to do that. They used to, a lot of the men that they would take out, some of them, you hear them say them escape in nearby bushes, shoot out, and 2 were killed and another one escaping nearby bushes. We know the whole thing. But I don't think that is what is happening right now. Now, the Clarendon police are reporting its most significant reduction in crime in over a decade. Because this is a story all around the island, you know. With the head of division, Senior Superintendent of Police, Shane McCullough, charging that the police will continue to employ targeted strategies to further cut crime in the parish. McCullough told the monthly sitting of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation that the parish closed 2025 with 41 murders, representing a 41% decrease, the lowest annual total recorded in approximately 13 years. Additionally, Clarendon recorded a 30% reduction in shootings. Overall, there was a 17% reduction in all major crimes. When compared to the corresponding period in 2024, prior to 2025, the lowest murder tally was recorded in 2012 when 84 homicides were reported. Yeah. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is all across. So there is even an argument, you know, about that it is luck. But how is it? Do we really believe that it is just pure luck that Jamaica, all across Jamaica, crime is being reduced? I don't know. Now, there is also online Pastor Jamal, what's his name? Trying to remember his name. Pastor Jamal something or the other. Let me
when it relates to women,
I'm going to play this clip for you, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to tell me what you think about it.
because there's a double standard in church when it relates to women, and it's abysmal hypocrisy. You got outer shape preachers who rail on modesty but have never preached a sermon on obesity and gluttony. Our misogyny has become institutionalized and cloaked under spirituality. Today, if a man falls out at the altar, you will let him lay there. But if a woman lays out at the altar, you'll pull out more sheets than Bed Bath and Beyond.
All right, let me stop that right there. Pastor Jamal Bryant, that's his name. And he was responding to an uproar because his wife wore a particular dress to a function. And people were saying, hey, that don't look good, Pastor. You shouldn't make your wife wear that. So now he came to church and he's criticizing. He's defending his decision because he said that he bought the dress. And there's nothing wrong with it. And some pastors attack. Let me just let this sermon finish and then let me continue.
In the black church.
All All right, I think that is as much as we're gonna get from that clip. Now, I think that a lot of people would have seen the dress. A lot of people would have seen the dress. And for those of you watching, that is a dress. You can make up your own mind. If you believe that the pastor's wife dressed appropriately, she wasn't going to church. Let me just throw that out there. She was going to a function. But what the dress, it looked to the naked eye, yes, pun intended, that she's naked. But they're defending it that, hey, listen, it's just sheer looking, so there's nothing to see here. But if you are a pastor, and this is just my opinion, you can disagree. If you're a pastor and you have to come out and defend your wife for wearing something that look like this, then you probably shouldn't be a pastor. It's just my opinion. Because let me tell you something. Nobody forced you into being a pastor. You decided, you chose to do that. You chose to come out and decide that, hey, listen, I am going to become a pastor. You chose the life. And when you choose this life, the Bible says, come out from among them, be ye separated. Come out from among them, be ye separated. And this dress, in my opinion, this don't look pastor-ish at all. And instead of you being humble, you're coming out pastor and you're beating your chest and you claiming is you buy it. What if you bought that dress for your wife to wear? I wonder what is going on in your head. I wonder how you see your wife. Because I don't see anything classy about this dress. You buy a dress for your wife to make it appear as if she is naked underneath. As a pastor, you buy a dress for your wife to make it appear as if she had nothing under it. What kind of message are you sending to your congregation? And then the audacity of you coming, Pastor Brian, to talk about if a woman falls at the altar, people bringing out sheets. And if the man fall, you're not bringing out it. Come on, Pastor. What are you talking about? You're clutching at straws. Because if a woman falls at the altar, more likely than not, she's wearing a dress. We know how that goes. We understand. If the woman falls, she's wearing, more than likely, wearing a dress. And the reason people, the normal reason I know why people is not because of, according to you, it's, what's the term that he used? Whatever term. It's not because of that. It's because people want to cover up the woman. They don't want her to be at the altar exposed. If the man falls, there is nothing to expose. So that argument is weak. And the funny part of it is, every time somebody go up on the pulpit and start to preach and say some things, even if they're talking nonsense, you have everybody in the background cheering them on. What's up with that? Even if what they're saying is nonsense, you have everybody, yeah, amen, hallelujah. What? What is going on? So, yeah, that, all right, ladies and gentlemen, 508, I say again, 508-762-7621 if you want to participate in the discussion. There's also, wow, this one here disappeared. Where did that go? All right, let me leave that alone because can't find the article. Did save it. All right, let's see if I can pull that up. That's not working. Oh, yes. The advocate calls for paid menstrual leave in Jamaica. That is the only thing I can pull up. Is the headline. Paid menstrual leave in Jamaica. What is your thoughts on that? Paid menstrual leave. I think it's ridiculous. I honestly do. I empathize with people, with females who go through a menstrual cycle every month. But think about what they advocate. You see, sometimes the feminists, they don't think these things through, I don't think they think it through at all when they talk about these issues. Because how is it that you're going to say women should get menstrual leave? Think about the ramification. I think it would do more harm than good. Because if I'm running a business, and I'm just going to be frank, if I'm running a business and I rely on people showing up for work, and then the government is going to put these things in place, these rules or laws in place that, hey, listen, when the women are having their monthly cycle, they can take leave. What? So every month I have to give you pretty much a week off work. So how my business function? Me not go bother employing a woman. That simple as that. So for prevent the headache, me just not bother employing a woman. So a lot of these things, people, and the funny thing is, when you see these articles, a lot of people in the comment section are agreeing with the article, not realizing that this can be detrimental. I understand, yes, you have to power through it. There's a lot of things that men power through, But nobody not sorry if we ain't giving a leave for nothing. But women, yeah. Okay, finally, here's the article. Advocate calls for paid menstrual leave. On any given day, more than 300 million women worldwide are menstruating. Yet, many continue to push through pain, fatigue, and emotional distress in silence. Before I go any further, this virus or whatever it is that is wreaking havoc on my body, it is having all kinds of stress and strain on my body, you know. I was at work today and I literally at one point felt like I was gonna pass out. But I had to push through it because the work must go on. Yeah. So we can't just get up and just everything you find some holidays or find something. Come on, man. We're not that weak. What is society coming to? There is a growing debate in Jamaica. Oh, really? It is in Jamaica? There's a growing debate in Jamaica about whether menstrual leave, paid time off, should be introduced. What? Countries such as Japan, South Korea, and Zambia have these policies. Oh, okay. Local advocate, listen, man, Shelly Ann Weeks, founder of the Her Flow Foundation, argues that the conversation has moved beyond whether menstrual leave is needed and should now focus on its implementation. Okay. The whole idea behind menstrual leave is to allow for 2 to 4 days per month for staff members who need it. It's not about every woman in every company being absent every month. It's about providing support for those who genuinely need it. Listen. Anybody at all in Jamaica, you believe that if you introduce this thing in Jamaica, that Jamaicans are not going to take advantage of it? If you believe that Jamaicans in Jamaica are not going to take advantage of this, introduce it, I want to say. We're talking about Jamaicans. Weeks pointed to a range of medical conditions that can make menstrual debilitating, including endometriosis and fibroids, as well as severe symptoms experienced by women without formal diagnosis. They have symptoms where they are nauseating. Some people have diarrhea. They are vomiting. So the need for menstrual leave has already been proven, she said. It is unreasonable, she said, to ask someone to work while they are at a certain level of pain or discomfort. Weeks also challenged social attitudes towards menstruation, noting that many still downplay its impact. Many people still believe that it is period. You see it every month. Where they are going so far, she said. But we need to treat menstrual leave like every other human function. People will have headaches and get so bad So we say go home and rest. So treat menstrual leave the same way. Addressing concerns that menstrual leave could affect productivity. Excuse me. Weeks pointed to evidence suggesting otherwise. A 2019 study by the National Institutes of Health found that menstruating related symptoms result in significant productivity loss, with presenteeism working while unwell contributing more than absenteeism. Some people can take a pill and continue, while some days it gets so bad they need to rest. Week said some women need to take a minute a day, or some just need access to their bathroom. Well. Very interesting. I don't know. I'd love to hear other people's perspective. I'd love to hear other people's perspective on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me I've been talking for a while now. I work out more than I thought, man. I never realized that I could, for the past 3 weeks, this is the longest I've spoken, believe me, because I try to limit speaking. I keep my conversations very short because of the challenges. I think I've been doing very well tonight, man. Very, very well. So let me play a little bit of music and come back to you. Yeah? And give my voice a little bit of rest. In the meantime, if you want to contribute, 508-762-7621, WhatsApp.
She's still loving me, though I've caused her so much pain. Yeah. I've done my share of wrong, time and time again. She's still loving me, and I can't deny. Oh no. Since she's been in my life, everything's been going fine, and I proudly to the world, she's mine, one and only. She does makes me feel so good inside. Tell the Lord inside, and I said, oh, she's the right one for me. He made no mistake, and I say this with no apology. Grams, won't you sing about your lady?
She's still loving me. Even though I made her cry, caused her many sleepless nights, and I had to make it right, she's mine, one and only. I ain't going nowhere, I ain't gonna leave my lady. She's mine, one and only.
What one dance can do. One dance can do. One dance can do. One dance can do. And listen there. After one dance on the floor.
Stand by, Sister Pat. Hello. Good evening, Sister Pat. Good evening. How are you?
Emily, how are you feeling?
I
You
am
sound
feeling
good
all
in
right, you
spite
know.
of the fact.
Hmm?
Okay. I say you sound good in spite of the fact that you're
Ah.
a little under the weather.
Yeah, man, this thing here. You ever hear them say, it's kicking your tail?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's,
yes,
I'm gonna give you a joke.
yes.
Normally, in my family, they always say that, boy, uh, some of the kids call me daddy, some call me pops,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes they say that pops is him only need 1 year in bed, anytime
Mm-hmm.
anything, and him back up and running. So when I
Okay.
get sick, everybody know that, yeah, man, this man 1 day just need a day off and rest
Okay.
and take medication and whatever, and by the next day 100% back up.
Okay.
So this time around, man, everybody kind of concerned because I'm like, why this thing? No, man, this not normal.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
cause yeah, but I am not too bad. It's just right now, just the lingering effects, the coughing, little bit of the
Yeah.
cough still lingering, and
Yeah.
I my voice is, I'd say, want to say probably about 85% back.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, but I will survive.
You most definitely will. If you didn't tell us you were under the weather, we never would have known because
Ah,
your voice, I don't see there's any difference in your voice.
okay, all right, thank you. I'm
Oh
glad.
yes. And you held up pretty well, speaking. No
Thank you.
coughing, no itch, no glitch. No, you did
Mm,
remarkably well. Yes.
yeah, man, I'm
Oh,
trying to do my best,
okay.
So how you do?
Okay.
How you on the new year?
Oh, other than that, I am blessed. What can I say? God has spared my life. Here I am in 2026.
Blessed and highly
Started off
flavored, right?
rocky. Yes, blessed and highly favored. The year started off on a rocky point, not with me, but we see what is taking place around us, and if this is any indication of what's to come, it doesn't look good. But in God we put our trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
True.
God is leading the way,
Yes.
most definitely. Yes, I just want to give you my I'm not 2 cents,
Mm-hmm.
or give you my opinion on the news that you was reading in reference to the crime reduction in the crime rate.
Yes.
Is that a true reading? Is that the true information
Mm-hmm.
and not a parcel?
No, it's a true information. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, if that's the case, it's a significant decrease,
Mm-hmm.
in the murder rate that has occurred, because at one point, man, the killings there, it was just unbelievable. You every day, this is all you was hearing, all the negative. But I guess the prime minister and the commissioner of police, and the JDF and everyone, they're working together to reduce the crime rate, because I'm telling you, some of these boys, these men, they are just on a crime spree. But I remember hearing the prime minister sending out a warning in particular to the deported residents. He says, if you think you're coming back to Jamaica to continue that crime spree, that behavior that you are used to, it is unacceptable here, because there are two things. Either you're going to meet your maker, or you're going to face the criminal justice system. because we are ready for you. We're waiting for you. So I guess maybe that statement seemed to be resonating. I don't know, but something seems to be working.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, something seems to be working. Yeah.
Yeah, something is working, and you know, we have to give kudos because when it not work, we cost them,
That's right. Oh, yes.
you know, and that is where I don't understand how is it that some people do not want to acknowledge. They don't even want to
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge that this is happening. No, the police is putting out, or whoever is responsible for putting out the
Mm-hmm.
statistics, they are putting out the statistics. They're giving us the information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some people don't even want to accept that this is true.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are saying that it is lying. They're lying.
Mm-hmm.
So it to me,
Mm-hmm.
it's as if they want to hear that the country, and I don't understand what is gained from them hearing that we have over 1,000 murders. I do not understand it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But this is where some people are. This is where the mindset of some people are. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
want to hear the
Yes.
negative stories. They want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So when the positive stories come out, them cuss it and say no go so them a cook the books.
Yes. Yeah, they don't want to believe it.
Which makes no sense to
Wow.
me because this is where we want to see the country going. Because in terms of economic development, crime is definitely a wait, what do you call it? It's a
A
negative.
factor.
It's a factor.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
a factor.
negative because when people are thinking about investing in the country, and when they hear about crime and murder, even if it is just gang related and it is
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily the entire country, there is
Mm-hmm.
something about the psyche. There is
Yes.
something that it does to people. So if I'm in Westmoreland, for example, and people
Mm-hmm.
are in St. Thomas, and the crime rate is in St. Thomas and St. Catherine, the fact is that it is in Jamaica. So I may
Absolutely.
say, in you know, we're not feeling it down here, but there is some fear that is still
Mm-hmm.
gripping the entire island. So I believe that it is a positive, and I'm hearing, just a Pat, from a
Yes.
lot of people who are saying they feel safer now. And
Okay.
that in and of itself is telling us that
Yes. Yes.
it is working because
Oh,
mentally people are feeling safer. They
safer.
feel like,
Right.
yes, they feel like, oh, I can breathe. I can finally breathe a sigh of relief because, oh, you don't have to be walking. I hear some people saying now that they see people are playing dominoes later at nights now. People are hanging out more on the
Mm-hmm.
corner.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
people are going out, church people are going out back to Wednesday night services and all of that. So
Yes. Yes.
we may not be where we want to be, but gradually people are now feeling a little bit safer to go about their business and not afraid. I remember a few years ago when I was like, Jesus have mercy, what is happening in Jamaica?
Mm-hmm.
They were just killing people left, right, and center.
Like you're shooting down birds.
I remember on the same program, we used to talk about it. And we
Mm-hmm.
used to talk about what can we do, what is the government going to do? So, hey.
Yeah. Well, thank God though that the positive that we heard from you on your program this evening, that the crime rate has gone down tremendously, drastically. But you know something, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
After Hurricane Melissa, there was a video I saw, and in certain affluent areas, their homes were untouched. You talk about where, for example, the guy from Virgin Atlantic, all these people, they got a big property in Jamaica, you know.
Mm.
They got their fabulous homes and they were untouched. I'm not sure exactly the location of where they are, possibly in Montego Bay, you know, wherever. But you should see the beautiful gated communities now. If these affluent folks, Americans, are buying up property, it is sending us a message that, yes, the crime rate might be there, but people do have a vested interest in the Caribbean, especially in Jamaica. Now we have to ask ourselves the question, why? Because there are those who have it and they don't want it, and the people who want it, they are upset because they have it. So you just can't please this certain group of people.
Yeah.
You know? What
Yeah.
they have, they don't appreciate, they don't take care of it. And when somebody else who wants it come by and see it and they get it, then they get upset. Highly upset. So, yes, it's important for the crime rate to go down because tourism, Jamaica last year and previous years have been the #1 hotspot for tourists.
Yes.
The #1. And if tourism generates financial revenue for the country, don't you think it's incumbent upon the country to make sure that they keep the country at #1, and to make sure that the tourists are safe and those who live there are safe? They have to protect the interest. They have to protect the country itself.
Of course.
Now, we're not saying that crime is not on a high level, but certain areas, they don't go because they're gated communities. So what about the communities that are not gated? You know, that's where the crooks, you know, and the murderers and the rapists, that's where they seem to focus on.
Yeah. I was listening to a program from Jamaica, and one of the assistant commissioners, I think he was giving the breakdown, and a lot of the crime is still gang related, you know.
Yes.
So, even though the government has gotten rid of a lot of the gangs, because the government and the police, they have put resources in place to get rid of the gangs, and they have made progress.
Yes.
But what they're saying is that a lot of these murders are still gang related. So can you imagine if they were able to get rid of all these gangs and all of this murder, the inter-gang related and all of that just disappear? Can you imagine how the murder figures would sound each year?
Absolutely.
We would have been well below 300.
Below.
Exactly. And then
Significantly below.
another aspect of it too is domestic. Because people, when you talk about crime, you know, and killings, and I often say this to people, Jamaicans are not just going around and just killing innocent Jamaicans like that, you know. Even when the murder rate is over 1,000, it is not just somebody from St. Thomas just get up one morning and put on him clothes and say, hey, I'm going on a killing spree and I'm just gonna go kill some people in Kingston or wherever. It is not like that. A lot of these, so you may be going about your business and Jamaica is relatively safe. I can say that without any fear of contradiction. Jamaica is a relatively safe country because I go to Jamaica on a regular basis. Maybe not as often as I would have wanted. But when I go to Jamaica, I don't feel afraid. I don't feel like I have to, you know, just behave a certain way, act a certain way, and just looking over my shoulder. I don't feel that way because I don't feel like I'm a target.
Okay.
I know how to conduct myself, whether I live in Jamaica or whether I am visiting Jamaica. I know how to conduct myself. I know certain places not to go.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I know how to behave. So even if I lived there, I would still behave the way I behave when I go there for a visit, because Jamaica, in my opinion, is a relatively safe place. The people who are getting murdered are people who themselves have beef with other people. I don't have no beef with nobody. So why should I fear? It's random. It's not random murders. It's not people just seeing somebody. And of course, you do have those in every country. You have people just rob people and whatever. That's never gonna stop. But it's not something that is rampant across Jamaica. Most of the murders are people who know people, and people in something with somebody, and them decide to, you know. And one of the things that they had recently that was a thing was the contract killings.
Okay.
Where me and you have something, and there were people who were living, like literally living off of that was their job. You know, I can call you up and say, hey, Sister Pat, I have a job for you, you know. And you tell me, yes, man. Yeah, and I don't have to know. No. And that is what used to happen. You remember when you have those brazen, you know, people coming up on bikes and just spraying people. That was a part of the mix too. But with the technology that's available, and I often say this to people, you know, the police force is not the police force of 15 years ago, you know. Because if you notice, you know, when they put out these wanted Wednesdays, most of the times I say to people, you know, the Jamaica police, they are more equipped than what people realize, you know. A lot of people don't realize now, Sister Pat, that the police know where these guys are before they put them out on wanted Wednesday, you know. No, I'm telling you, they know where they are. So what the police is doing most of the times is giving them an opportunity to turn themselves in.
Surrender.
Because I have been watching this thing over the years. And when you see them, wanted Wednesday, XYZ is wanted for this, that. I start the clock ticking. I said, I'm waiting to see if by next Wednesday what is going to happen. And a lot of times what end up happening is that it's either the police capture them or they are taken out by the police.
unalive by the police, because a lot of them don't take the opportunity
Yes,
to surrender. And this is what the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister said, listen, man, surrender. Give yourself a chance. Don't challenge the police. And I agree with the Prime Minister.
That's why he says you have two choices.
Yes.
Either you're going to meet Jamaica, or okay.
Yes.
Because the police are waiting for you and they're not playing.
Yeah. Police have not play with them, man.
No.
Yeah. So I agree with the strategy that is being put in place right now.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you very much, Sister Pat. Appreciate the call.
Welcome, Chris. All right.
All right. Have a happy New Year.
Yes, I wish you the same.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we started the program a little bit late. So, hey, listen, it is what it is. We are after the hour right now, so we gotta wrap it up. Yeah, we gotta wrap it up. So thank you everybody. I am glad to be back. Looking forward to being back with you next week. 100%. You know, I should be back 100%, full force next week. So take care of your beautiful selves, and yeah, man. We'll continue to look towards 2026 and beyond, you know, hoping that 2026 will give us all we require and much more. All right. Happy New Year to you all. First program for 2026. And yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Fit FM 96.7, Julia Meikle, Benaya, and the crew over there at Linkage Radio. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. I am out of here. Give you a little bit more Barry Salmond to take us out. Good night.
Came back wanting for more. No, I don't know what it is that I've got. But she whispered it was so nice. But her man is sitting across the way, and he could hear the things I say. Now he watches from the corner of his eyes. So a move like this would be so unwise. Ooh, you're standing in my way. Standing in my way. You could see she was more than ready to make the move with me anytime. Not even thinking of the consequences. Oh, no. So I had to think quickly. Cause her man, his face was looking oh so mean, as if any time he could create a scene. So gently I pushed her away. Ooh, he wants to spoil the play. He's standing in my way. He's standing in my way. Whoa. Now I understand how he feels, but I wish you'd give me a little room. I know he's got himself a raw deal. But I'd like to leave with this lady soon. I didn't mean to be so unkind, but I had more than two, and the one was looking finally, Big Spender he was, had to have his own way. Thought he'd leave, but he stayed, still standing in my way. Hey.